Hello, it's me again, Sparkfire. Just still trying to work this thing out, taking films. I've activated my live stream account, but I've never done one. I don't know what the difference is yet, so I'm doing another film because it makes me feel better. Because I think I should have been doing this for a long time. I've been writing. But the fact is that people are so dumbed down they can't read more than 2 sentences. They're absolutely stupid. No, they're not stupid. What it is they can't read. Little marks on in front of their eyes don't mean anything. They can't get the sense of it out. Very few people can really read anymore, and they can't read online. So even if they can read a newspaper or a book, it doesn't transfer that well to online. So I've been writing things, but I haven't written much about the political situation. I thought, well, lots of people are doing this, and it's a good thing. Why do I need my 8 minutes worth? You don't. Because I've done what I've done. I'm much more interested in the spiritual side of things. I'm not particularly interested in the politics. I think it's the same old shit that we in Europe have put up with for thousands of years. And our elders never resolved it because they didn't know about the reptilians. They didn't know they had an alien species living here, eating us, murdering our children, trying to get our souls in hell. And hell is a place that's real. They talk about it and we all think it's something to do with the medieval people having nightmares. No, I think it's real. You've got the same chatter going on in ancient Egypt and in Sumeria. And apparently it was the Sumerian gods, the Nibiruns, who built the bloody place. So they must be absolute bastards. That they built hell? Yes, because they're the same or very similar species. I mean, when I say a reptilian, I've only seen 2. They're both on my page if you look down far. And what various powers that be have been doing is they've been archiving everything I write, all my films. So you have to scroll down for ages to find anything. There's no way to itemise it anymore. There's no way to put it anywhere that you can find it. But basically, one was a clip maybe a minute long. And it was this chap walked into a room with a few other people. And they stood there and laughed at him. And he just whipped his face off. It turned out to be a mask. And there was this thing sitting there. And I do mean a thing. Oh, it was a monster. It was green with a kind of snout, like a beak, 2 little tiny nostrils, which could close up, obviously. It could swim underwater this thing. And its tongue fell out of its mouth every few seconds. Huge tongue right down its chest, which was pink coloured. Of course, this is odd because mammals have pink tongues. Reptiles have grey tongues. So there's something strange there for a start. And then it had big, brownish, I'm not sure what you would call it, clear, like transparent eyes, big round things, brown, which twitched forward like a bird. So it's actually got a bird's eyes. And then it had a tyrannosaur, deep eyebrow, both sides in a lighter green. And you could see it had no back to its head. Its brain must be in its neck. and then the film stopped there. You didn't get much of a sight of it. But that's a reptilian. And it's ludicrous. It's not just ugly. It's not just from hell. It's actually risible. You could sit there and feel that it's someone's idea of a horrible joke. How could that thing possibly think that God wants that rather than say me? Well, God doesn't, I assure you. Look at it. It's from hell for a reason. It's the only place these filthy things can live. And hell, if the Nibiruns built it on Earth, and I'm pretty sure they did, what it is, it's a room in the rock. So if you're interested, make sure you can get into it. It's just like space. But to us, it looks and feels like rock. We can't get inside. And I figured that out because I've seen all the buildings in Egypt and in Sumeria. And if you look at the pictures, you see that the top where they would have lived are solid. They're full of bricks. So somehow these Nibiruans and these filthy crocs can get into the bricks and live as if they were in empty space, which we can't do. So this is an awkward situation, isn't it? Hell must be the same. So they're coming out of hell where they've been put because they like it there, torturing human souls. And that's why all the souls are in hell, not because they're in sin, but because they're human. I mean, how wretched a thing is this? And the Nibiruans are the ones who did this to us. Deliberately. And they must be grateful for them giving us life. Well, they didn't give us life. God gives life, they don't. God gives soul, they don't. God gives mind, they don't. God gives spirit, they don't. God is God, they're not. So what they've done is they've taken a higher species of gods, which was white, as they are themselves, reportedly, and they butchered it, DNA-wise, until they produced us. They crossed us with a variety of other DNA has been injected into us. I think we've got a bit of rat, a bit of dog, a bit of cow. We've got everything in us, just a few genes here and there, so our appearance didn't change. But we've got like leftovers of their instincts. And that's why we're so neurotic. Because we live under the control of these filthy things in life and never know why we're always at war or famines or worked to death or the bosses are bitch and all that. We can't work it out. And then when you die, they drag you off because you've agreed. You've given karmic assent without realising it. Just clever little questions like, I don't know, would you sell me something important if I gave you a fiver since you're starving? And you agree, because you must have that fiver. You've got to eat. But what you've given them without realising it is your immortal soul, which is really you. It's the better part of you, and that's what they want. Because it's immortal. So you're giving them your eternal life, your place in heaven, and your soul is dragged off to hell when you die, because your soul is really you, and is tortured, because you're human. You're not. The reptilians believe that they're superior. They do. They think they're superior. They only have to look at themselves to see there's obviously Gay's rubbish. He's obviously designed them to do this to us, and they have. Under a hell program, what could anyone do? But I've beaten Gay now. He's gone. And Peter too. Got destroyed. And they were running pretty fucking scared by the end. So a lot of the information we're getting from CIA sources, because most of it is coming from America, actually originated with him. Because I told him to confess, which he did. So it all comes back to me, and of course, what it's done is my right brain knew all this, my left brain didn't. I didn't know anything about it. So now we're both educated, we're up to speed, and we're merging, because of course we're the same person, really. So Gay made them to his own design, and they are ludicrous. They are hideous. Yes, they're 10 times stronger than we are. They also use chi, and chi is the energy of the earth, so we can use it too. You've only got to be trained, and you'll be able to do it yourself. So when they punch a human being, he goes backwards like he's been punched by a truck. And what it is they've used chi. And so he's hit with the force of the earth. We don't have to do that to anybody. But you see, you can do that to them if you know that's what it is. You can defend against chi as well. I've heard, I haven't seen it. All these gifts come from God. God can't see. God knows but doesn't know. You're allowed free will. And you must ask God for the things you need or want. But you don't ask him outside, which is what prayer does. You ask inside in your heart. And God, who's linked to your heart, answers that. Okay, that's just for starters. If you don't know that, you're going to go to church and blab to the walls. Now, I've been doing that. I'm a shocker for it. I've been addressing the stars. But what's paid off is I've seen the stars aren't stars. They're ships. If you talk to them, they blink back at you. Keep at them and they'll run. Stars as huge as old Arcturus. I've actually seen it drop its straws and make off to the left. It's a ship. And NASA, with its telescopes and things, has known this for years. Well, you find out, because this is my age, I'm Vija, officially. I'm your avatar. I've opened a new age, and this is one of the things we find out, is that they're not stars. It's a hologram sky. You go beyond the dome and you can't see any stars. It's just blackness. It's because it's my coffin. There's loads of rooms in it. There's loads of planets and planes and things. But there are no stars. There's no galaxies. There's no empires to conquer. Not in the sense that you had Star Trek doing it. Of course, Peter didn't know that. He believed every word that NASA came out. It's a question of what happened was the liars deceived the liar. And the liar deceived the liar. So now they're all fucking crashing down. So this is the age of Aquarius, which is my age. It's a short age. It looks like it's going to end in a nuclear war. But who's causing it aren't the humans. It's never the humans. They always make out it's the humans. No, it's not. It's the reptiles. Why they're doing it, all I know is that one of them said to me, I worked out now that she was a reptile. And this was Elizabeth, I forgot her name, Bennett or whatever her name was. Worked at Rowan Road Surgery, CPN. Complete, that's a liar. But she said to me, well, we're going up and we don't want to leave anything behind that might come after us. Well, if they're going up, I take it that means they're going to invade another planet, another plane. And do the same thing they've done here to the beings there. Oh, excuse me. I smoke. I've got CPD. So basically that's what they are. They're monsters from hell made by gay. They've taken it because they're blind and stupid with it. They're especially favoured by God because they've got all these advantages. But we were under a hell program, and so was God. And so what happened is that because they were vaguely man-shaped, because you can see that much, they were promoted. Because they're intelligent, they were promoted some more. Because they were evil, they were promoted some more. Conversely, look at the humans. We are men. But we've been disconnected. And who disconnected us? The Nibrans did. The Nibrans did. I mean, the disconnection is here somewhere. And to get round that, you can't use your brain. Not to pray with. You've got to use your heart. As I've been known to do. So that's how you get past them, is to realise that now I've defeated Gay and Peter, the heaven program is switching back on. This is my coffin, I should know. And basically, well, they're on their last days. They don't know it. They assume in their usual supercilious, conceited way that they're going to win. Sorry. I've done my bit already. They're going to lose. And they're all going to go to hell, all right, but the pains they've been giving others will be given to them. And good riddance to them. I don't feel sorry for them. They've done the most horrible, disgusting atrocities, used to little children and to souls. Because they could get away with it. They were rewarded for their evil. Under Gay, there was no way to stop him. He had infinite power because he was operating the thing from outside. But he's dead now. That's what's happened. He died. His icon or avatar, what would you call it, here, carried on for a few years, but basically he knew he was onto a loser. But Peter, who was his henchman, who he picked up here as just an ordinary Tsar Nazi, but he fancied himself as a great wizard, and he tried to be even greater god than Gay. And Gay didn't tell him that he lost. So Peter got destroyed, so I didn't forgive him. I'm not going to forgive either of them. I leave it to greater gods than myself to decide what to do with filth like that. One from outside, one from inside. You know, were they human? To do all that to a little girl? To all the little girls and all the little boys? I don't think so. Gay it was then who designed the Nibrans as well. He ran the whole fucking show. So these Nibrans then must be totally filthy evil. Evil filth from hell. An awful thing to do to people. And they know that we're not the original souls that they hated. The Tiamatians. No, we're not. We're all different. We're from everywhere. They've been trapping souls here for years. So quite a lot of us are actually aliens. In fact, as far as I read their records, we've got at least 3 Nibrans amongst us, including one was the daughter of Aya. She chose to die with us. And he said to her, you'll share their fate, but she insisted. So she could be good. And that's the situation. The humans are the good guys. But they've got to get your karmic consent, as they cannot have your soul. But if they can get you to swap it or exchange it for something, usually money, well then they won. You've given them your soul. You've given yourself away into eternal slavery to creatures that exist by torture. They can't eat any other way. They are so inferior they've never tried to change it at all. Because they believed they were superior. Because God let them have all this. So, you can either believe me or not. I don't really mind. I mean, you've got free will. I'm sure you've got your own mind. You must make your minds up. We're starting to see the dead walk out of the air. You see the state they're in. They're ex-humans. Of course, at one time, Gay did put the dog, God's dog. His name was Rex. And it was Father Series' dog. It was kind of a big Alsatian. And he put his mind into God's creating seat while he tortured the animal. So there's a lot of your really vicious screaming demons are actually made by the dog. So that's where that sort of thing comes from, in case anybody's interested in that. I don't think I've ever seen anything so horrible as these reptiles. The other one was that, I think it was an Islamic preacher, he might have been Christian. This thing just popped out of his head in the middle of a sermon. I think it's Islamic. But a lot of the Christian preachers, particularly the Mormons, are also, this is happening with them as well. This thing pops out. And it's similar, but it's dark red and glabrous, slimy looking thing. With a great big black and white eye. It's really revolting. If you give those creatures your soul, well, devils is about the right word to describe them. That's what they are. They're devils. Monsters. Filth from hell. And now Gay's lost. God will change over to the heaven program. Don't feel sorry for them. They're going to be busted down to the bloody quarks. Good riddance. They're filth. They're muck. As for the Nibrans who've been shouting all this time that they're the gods, I don't want to think about them. They're huge. I know this. They're much bigger than we are. But wise. Sacred. They set this up knowing what would happen to our children. Wise? I think not.